If this isn't your first time hearing this podcast, you know that I'm a big proponent of press releases. Now, press releases give exposure to your dental practice, dental services, and they develop credibility with your potential patients, and they also deliver valuable SEO ranking. But there's one fatal flaw that I just can't stand in a press release, and that's boring or bad headlines. We'll talk more about that when I return. Colin here, and welcome back to the Patient Attraction Podcast. Now, as you probably know, it's hard enough for dentists, especially in larger market areas, to get press recognition. And it even gets harder when your press release includes a terrible or a boring headline. So what I want to do today and tomorrow is we're going to cover my personal top 10 list of headline writing must-haves. I'm going to do 5 today and 5 tomorrow. Number 1, let the reader know why your story matters. Now, this seems pretty basic, but you'd be surprised how often a headline tells us the entire story or simply fails to pique the reader's interest at all. To avoid this problem, use the headline to convince the reader why they should give a hoot about your press release. Look at the headline less as a summary and more as a pitch to why they should read the story below. Second tip, write the headline last. Don't waste your time trying to pull a clever headline out of your backside, out of thin air, before you write the copy. Familiarize yourself with the copy first, write the topic in depth, and then you're more likely to discover a headline that's going to best draw in your readership. Newspapers have used this tactic for centuries with great success, of course. They're still around. Walk into the New York Times office and you'll find that the headlines are written well after the story has been written and edited. And number 3, don't be afraid to be kind of clever. Don't let your headlines be dull. A pun on words is a cute way to grab a reader's attention. When you're writing headlines to appeal to readers and news agencies, create an attention-grabbing headline through the use of puns, imagery, or even some sensationalism. News media and search engines are more likely to click on your headline if you find a way to be clever and unique. But beware, don't create link bait. Fourth, use active voice instead of a passive voice. Now, this rule goes all the way back to high school and even elementary school and serves as a great tool for any style of writing. So what is active voice? Well, in active voice, I want you to think subject, verb, and object, with the subject performing the action. Good headlines are always written in an active voice because it best answers the newsworthy questions like who, what, where, when, why, and how. Passive voice often has the opposite effect and leaves a reader confused. Fifth and final for today, write page 1 headlines. If you write a headline that's worthy of the front page in your local newspaper, you're more likely to see your press release in that very spot. Press releases with terrible or confusing headlines are likely to show up in the trash bin instead of in your newspaper. Spend a few minutes thinking about these 5 headline writing tips and put them into practice. This is something you can implement today. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you my last 5 must-do guidelines for headline writing. Until then, keep moving forward.